today, everybody. We're really proud of you all. See if you can snatch the bud for my bud there. And so I'm going to hide my poster on StreamYard here. Welcome, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen with Weed Weeds Day. And I'm going to share my screen with you all here on the StreamYard here. So let's see if we can actually learn how to do this. Where does it say share screen? There it is. So I've done this so many years and so many hours and so many times that I'm still learning. So everybody keep learning something every day and think about it before you go to sleep. So there's the share screen there. And I'm going to go right into our beginning episode here. Let's see. So boom, boom, boom. And so we're behind the scenes here, everybody. This is how I edit. And can you see, hang on just a minute. So I'm going to go on to Zoom chat and actually share my screen on Zoom and optimize my sound, everybody, and love you up. And it's just at the top of the hour. So we are going to have a show now today. So let's see here. I should be in on my Zoom chat here. Let's get rid of this. Take care of everybody. And
I see your editing screen.
Yes, and so we're behind the scenes. We're with Rodimus in France, and everybody, welcome to Weed Weeds Day. And at the count of three, we're going to start, and we'll see who else shows up today. Hopefully the Facebook police won't get us for playing Stevie. Welcome, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen sitting in my house here telling you about World 420 Day. And I am live talking to you on top of this. And I love, love, love being part of this solution. Everybody grab something that you want to do.
Good
and
afternoon,
want free.
everybody.
Oh,
As
whoa.
some of you know, I'm Jeff Eichen from Lifers Madness, the movie, with Tommy Chong. We are beginning our first stages of organizing
the very first World 420 Day on Weed Weeds Day, every fourth Weeds Day. Don't forget, hemp, hemp, hooray. I'm your host, Jeff Eichen, human rights advocate and social activist fighting for government deregulation of weed and the release of all nonviolent criminals incarcerated for possession of marijuana, moving violations, parking tickets, IRS debt, etc. Here on Weeds Day, we keep the public informed about all things weed related, including festivals and legislation surrounding regulating the growth of hemp.
Talking about a war on drugs that was basically a war on humanity. And what it did basically is it took human beings that could have been productive, and it threw them into prisons basically all over the country. California being the worst example of this for non-violent drug-related offenses, and just wasted human beings and at an astronomical cost to states around the country. I think that the Oregon law, that they just passed is absolutely brilliant in the sense that they're capitalizing right now on the massive tax revenue from their organic and potent weed sales that comes out of Oregon. They sell it all over the world. They sell it all around the United States. And they have such a massive surplus right now, despite their recession, that they're able to fund not only drug rehab programs, they're able to provide housing for the homeless, construction builds, and to provide job training. So it's a long time coming that drugs, nonviolent drug offenses, are no longer going to tie up the criminal justice system and let human beings rot away when, drug rehab and more humanitarian ways of dealing with the problem is the way to go.
Might this be a model for the rest of the nation?
100%. It will be a model for the rest of the nation. I mean, it's going to be slow in some of the states where they toss your life away for, any drug-related offense. But I think it's the beginning of a trend that's going to sweep across the country eventually.
Ha ha ha, everybody. Hem hooray. I'll unshare my screen so I can get our guest on board here. And I'm so blessed today to have an old-time friend of mine who's seen me through just about everything, and I him. And so welcome, Rod, in France. Are you still there, Rod? So Rod is in France, and so maybe he's
I'm here. Hi.
Oh, maybe he's on France time. Oui, bonjour.
Bonjour.
You know.
I'm here. I'm just finishing a bite to eat, so I don't want to have people see me eating. So I'll be visual in a couple minutes.
Okay, so everybody, I'll pin myself to the front here, and today's business is to. I wish I could play some Snoop music, and so it's bud and juice, and it's bud and green juice, because in the old days it was gin and juice, and now it's bud and green juice. And we invite Snoop to come in. We invite all the DJs that used to play with Snoop come in. We invite the metaverse and the universe to join us in our desire and our movement towards getting all of our prisoners free, to keep the movement rolling. You can see one of my older posters behind me, Lifers Madness, the movie, you can find on lifersandmovie.com, and // donate, so we can finance our trips to MJ BizCon. And we have a couple people on the ground today at BizCon in Las Vegas, and they're supposed to be coming in, but we don't know how busy people are and what's going to happen. But in the meantime, you can see my hemp tie that I'm wearing, and I'll show you this beautiful pin that I have. And this tie is 35 years old, everybody. And when I showed it to Chris Boucher, who made it, and he partnered with Woody Harrelson in the old days, made the first hemp surfboard with the Hempstead company. He said, "Oh man, that's got the tag on the back. That's vintage, Jeffrey. I'm so proud of you." So wear hemp, everybody. It's not like dirty cotton. And because I have green screen on, but you can see my sticky bud t-shirt. That's kind of cool. I kind of like it. Maybe I feel like I've got some special effects today. But I'm really blessed to have people jumping in and jumping off and jumping on and jumping in, and helping to celebrate Snoop's birthday. Does anybody out there have a Snoop Dogg story for his birthday? You got a Snoop Dogg story? We got Sugar coming on here. What
I'm going to say.
You got a Snoop? You got a Snoop story?
Well, not exactly.
Wait. Welcome, Rodimus. What's your name? What's your name and where are you?
I'm Rod in France. So anyway, I really appreciate it when
There's only 3 people.
Hey, hi,
Oops,
hi,
sorry.
Sugar. That's okay.
Hi, love.
Hey.
Oh my God, this is great.
Okay, so meet Rodimus. Rodimus meet Sugar.
Rod
Meet Sugar.
Hi, Sugar.
Joe. Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Sugar.
I'm in the kitchen. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was just there too, so I understand. So I just thought it was so interesting. Speaking of kitchens and Snoop, I'm going to try to tie this all together. I really thought it was cool when Snoop decided to make that show with,
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart. I mean, that was a really cool thing. They both decided to do together, and talk about bringing things into the mainstream, and talk about improving her image and bringing him into a whole new audience. That was pretty bold and pretty cool. From what I saw, I really enjoyed watching them interact. So just want to mention
I
that's
just
my-
took my leaves off of my plants, my fan leaves they call them, and not because we can go. Hang on, I have my my Dr. Demento whistle, not fans as like clapping for me, but the fan leaves on the marijuana plant. I took them off and I made pesto out of them. I put olive oil and lime juice and some pine nuts, and I made a beautiful pesto, and I put it on a coconut tortilla and with some tomatoes and other things. Freaking delicious. Free the plant, free the weed. Free the plant, free the weed. And we got Sugar in the house today. She's a beautiful Canna chef. Tell us a little bit about you and where you are, Sugar.
Well, I'm down here in the City of Roses, just chilling today. I was on
Pasadena.
Yes, I was on Clubhouse earlier this morning, celebrating Snoop's birthday, his 50th, turning a centennial, and gave a huge shout out and made his favorite new drink that's celebrating his 50th birthday. And so, it's called the Laid Back.
The Laid Back.
Jeffrey, you were there. You heard me mixing on live on stage.
I did.
And just finished it actually. It was delicious. I had an early call this morning, so it was a nice brunch beverage. But in Doggo is his brand. He has quite a few different brands, but in Doggo is the brand that I was promoting today. But he also has 19 Crimes, and that's wine. That's his line. And so it's got the Cali Rosé and also the Cali Red. So that's the way he's celebrating today. Now, I don't know if you are aware, but Snoop lost his mom back in July. And so this is his first birthday without his mom. And it's a big one. So that's why I wanted to give tribute to him today, is because, I know what it's like to not have your loved one next to you on a day that's really special for you. So having this as a come out for his birthday is a beautiful thing. So
well, welcome back into our universe, our metaverse, and our show, Sugar. Sugar and I go way back, and we've always been really sweet on releasing the prisoners, ending prohibition in a big way, and in our lifetime dedicating ourselves not to the party, but to the release party, to walking the prisoners out. If you've ever been in jail, whether it's the doghouse with your family, because my friend called me yesterday from Boston, he says, Jeff, I'm in the doghouse. And then he called me, he says, I'm out of the doghouse. So we want everybody out of the doghouse and out of the weed house. But Sugar and I go way back to the drug policy, the DPA, which is right here, the DPA there. It's the war on people, folks, not the war on drugs. And we met in 2015, and so that's 6 years ago. And we've been following each other and dancing in the metaverse, because we don't live in the same area anymore. But every time I go to LA, I try to see Sugar, and now we're designing some large events coming up. We're going to be doing a golf tournament, and we're going to have Jack's name on the marquee, because we love Jack Herer, who wrote the book Emperors Wear No Clothes. So we're going to do a Jack Herer memorial, and I'm organizing that right now, and I'm really blessed with having my team in place. And we're going to be doing a restitution fund, raising the money for a beautiful fund to pay these gentlemen and women for being in jail for 30 years for a plant. What do you say? Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, what can you say? What can you say? We all know what it's like to be in the doghouse, but has anyone in this room been in prison before? It's not beautiful, and so it's important for them to come home and not have a record. And so we're going to be making hemp homes on the hemp farms for these prisoners once they get off parole, because they come out and they can't get apartments. And it's such a messed up system, and it's not designed to end population control, and it's not a design to do chemtrail reduction. It's not diabolical. It's just dumb.
Well, when you said that, I've never heard that phrasing before. I think that was pretty cool. That war on drugs is a war on people. I guess you guys have used that before. It's the first time I heard it tonight, and it makes perfect sense that we need to sort of realize what that stupidity really is, And anyway, thanks for mentioning that.
And so Mr. Rod, my good old time buddy from California of many years, tell us a little bit about what you would say to the people that are still incarcerated, and give them a little bit of hope in your own words and empathy.
Wow. Okay. That's putting me on the spot, but I can come up with something useful here, I hope. Well, I don't think that I can begin to give them anything that they haven't already thought about, haven't already arrived at. For me, I would think that being in that situation would involve being present, just staying present, because there's no way to change the past. The future is uncertain, and staying in the present, which is the only time we actually have in an ongoing way, it's all there is. So I think that people can anchor themselves, as I have been trying to do for a while, and succeeding at times to do that, to just be in the present moment. That allows discovery, it allows hope, it allows peace of mind, and just taking assessment of the things around you, being grateful. Even if you're behind bars, I think it's actually possible to find gratitude for being alive, for being breathing, for being able to interact with other people. And again, I don't know the harshness of that environment firsthand. I hope I never do, but I know that we are human, and as humans, we can connect with the larger reality no matter where we are. And so trusting that, and trusting that there's something going on that's behind the scenes that we don't even understand, and allowing that into the present moment, is what can provide a sense of wholeness and peace. So that's all I want to say.
And Sugar, do you have something to say to the prisoners?
I know that although I have not been incarcerated in a long time, the time that I was there, 32 years ago, almost. It was 16 days. It was 16 days of the longest period of time of my life. I'm sorry for the background noise. But it was the longest period of time for me. And so trying to find that space where you have a meditative moment with eyes closed, that doesn't happen so much or at least at that time. But what I have to say to the prisoners, number one, just keep hope. That's what I can say, is just keep hope alive. I know it's a Jesse moment, but it's true. We're working really hard to get you out. We're working really hard to get those who, are sitting behind bars, having had a war committed and a crime committed against them. We're asking that you have hope. We're coming to get you.
I love that. That's really special. I have a photograph here that I made in prison, everybody, of the first prisoner I went to film, and that's Jeff Mazansky. Let's see if I can get him. Everyone can see that.
Yes, I can see him. That's Jeff.
And Jeff was teaching woodshop in prison. When he was in my movie, he tells the story, I believe. I may have cut that part out because you got to chop babies to make your movies shorter. I had a 3-hour director's cut, and put it down to an hour, and it was very difficult for me to cut. But Jeff Mazansky tells the story of while he was in jail, he was teaching the young people to do woodshop, and that's kind of a blessing. And when he came out, he felt that he spent his time wisely behind bars. And when I talked to Tommy Chong about in my movie about what was it like to be in prison, he said he found spirit in prison. And he went to the spiritual side to talk to God, and not unlike Prince wrote a song called God, and Stevie Wonder, and everyone has a little moment in their creative time. So that's what Tommy said. He found spirit in it. It gave him time to find spirit. And COVID, God said, go to your room and contemplate. And so now I don't meditate anymore, everybody. And this is not a meditation episode. It's a Snoop Dogg birthday party. But wait, hang on. That's my Dr. Demento whistle. But and we honor everybody. But the moment in time that Tommy said to find that he found spirit in there was brilliant for me, because it gives everybody the time or the license to go inside and to contemplate. So I was going to say, I don't meditate anymore. I contemplate. I bring something into my meditation every morning, and then I still myself, and then I get quiet, and then I go, okay, whether it's for abundance or for my heart healing, or for me cleaning up my world, or something that I've done that I didn't like that I did, to clean that up. So my meditation is now a contemplation.
How long was Tommy in jail?
He was in jail for 9 months for selling his son's bongs, for advertising them. I mean,
I just didn't know the period of time. Yeah.
I mean, what the heck? Sugar, tell us a little bit about what you've done, what you've been doing up to since we've seen you, and what is your brand right now?
I'm working on a special brand right now. It's a little bit top secret right now, but I'm gonna come to you with it. But I have, I'm always working on social justice issues. So let's see, last time we talked was before Measure R passed here in Los Angeles, and reforming LA jails. And then we had Measure J pass. We worked on a couple of other propositions in other states. And so I've been lately, I took a little bit of time off, and I just came back because I told you I had a little personal injury that I had to deal with. But I am working as a cannabis correspondent for the state of cannabis. And then also I am...
Wait, tell us about the state of cannabis. What does that mean?
The state of cannabis, that is Susan Soares. The State of Cannabis is a wonderful organization that also is about bringing our policies together. It's helping in discussions with policy, and Susan brings together groups of people who can help to change policy. I too have, as well as you, Jeff, have been on Capitol Hill and lobbying for the war on drugs to end. And we just take that into our states, and then we lobby with our councilmen and our senators so that they know where we stand too. So that is basically, in a nutshell, what State of Cannabis does.
Don't they have a clubhouse show every day?
Every Monday through Friday,
what
9
the heck?
to 10 a.m., of which I am one of the correspondents. We have some great correspondents. We have correspondents, and this is a bipartisan team. So we have correspondents in Washington. We have Gretchen Gailey, who is a correspondent out there, and we have so many. Nicole West and Rico Lamine are co-producers on the show with Susan. And so we have a wonderful moment there. But let me also, because we're talking about prisoners, even though this is Snoop's birthday, I just want to drop in the other part that I do, which is the co-chair. I'm a co-chairman for the Los Angeles Regional Reentry Partnership. So as prisoners are coming out, as they are coming home, we help them to get housed, we help them to get employed, we help them to get more education. If they are doing a course or they're doing studying for their BA in prison, as they come out, we make sure that they are prepared for coming out of prison by making sure that their licenses are available to them instead of coming out with prison cards or prison ID. We work on getting them housed into houses that are specifically working on just getting them reacclimated to society and all that. And then being sure that they have the equipment and the knowledge to get out there and be able to continue their education, to get jobs. I'm working with one gentleman in particular. He's kind of like, he's a gentleman I met not by way of LARP, but now he's involved in LARP as a member. And he has been out for 2 years now. He was incarcerated for 19 years. And he just sent me a text yesterday and then gave me a call telling me that his life is just going great. He has a great job at Hops. He is Hoppix rather, and he is doing some wonderful things. But now looks like there might be marriage in his life. So it's happy endings like that are what I'm here for, is to help all of that.
Well, we need our correspondents, and we need our LA people, and we need
our lobbyists.
Yeah, and we love marriage. And I have yet to go down the aisle, but I'm so beautifully happy that we're all friends, and that I have two old buddies on today, everybody, on my show. Reset the room, everybody. This is Weeds Day, and we're on the IBM network. It's not IBM computers, it's International Broadcast Media. So we are going to Portugal. We are going to Uruguay. We are in Mexico. And when they had a show in Mexico, they came on live. And the kid that was introduced to us as being the VJ that was talking to us at the cannabis show in Mexico, his name was Nacho. So we love Nacho. So hi, Nacho. It's MJ BizCon week this week. What do you know about MJ BizCon, Sugar? You there, Sugar?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I got a call.
Okay.
MJ BizCon going on in Las Vegas. There's a lot of our State of Cannabis News Hour correspondents there. But I do have to take this call, Jeffrey. This is one of my clients, actually.
Oh, go for it. Oh, go for it. I'll hang with Rod for a minute, but stay with us. Stay with us. So
I'll do my best.
Oh yeah, no worries. So that's Sugar, everybody, and she's a correspondent, and correspondents are oftentimes busy because the hurricane doesn't stop coming, and so we have to give the report. And we've got a let's see, Rod, why don't we think up a new acronym for THC? You're muted, Rodimus.
Height of coolness.
The height of coolness. Okay. I have a friend's band that I did a video for, and bye bye Sugar, and the name of his band is The High Council. The High Council.
That works.
Yeah. So it's really great to have MJ BizCon, have Snoop's birthday on the same day, and we honor Snoop and we welcome Snoop to the stage if we get to pull it off, and if we organize ourselves right, we're going to be doing some incredible collaboration with our superstars. And today is Snoop's 50th birthday, so I got a new word for you, Snoop, because I'm the Ramaste word meister. I make words up. You're a Snooper star. And maybe you've heard that one before, but I love that one. I just made it up. Come on. And I'm not smoking. So I'm not joking. But Rodimus, how is the weather over in France? Because things are changing right now. We're coming out of fall and into winter. What's going on?
Well, okay, so I live in what is basically the epicenter of the Champagne district, where all the champagne is made and where all the grapes are grown. So just to sort of give a recap, this was the worst harvest in over 100 years.
Wow.
Because of climate change. We had a very unusual frost in April when the vines were starting to sprout their leaves. There was a frost which shocked the plants, and they would have survived that if it wasn't then followed by several months of rain. We had a very cool and very wet summer, and what that did to all the vines, the grapes on the vines, I should say, is it stunted their growth, and it introduced something called mildew, meaning that when there's so much moisture, the plants don't dry out, and they start getting this, fungus, if you will, they call mildew, and it literally just destroys the grapes from growing. So, very heartbreaking year for 90%, almost 100% of the growers lost at least 50% of their yield this year. And like I said, worst harvest in over 100 years. So fortunately, all the champagne houses have reserves in their cellars. They actually have wine or champagne that they can then bring out after the second fermentation and turn it into champagne. And they do that just for that very reason. So anyway, that's one thing. The second thing about climate change is that the plants are starting to, in general, not produce as much in general. And they're now starting to introduce a different plant that's more hardier. The whole champagne industry has to respond to global warming, and that's what they're doing. So
it's not a Franken grape, though, is it?
No. Of course not. It's going to be very much in keeping with the quality of the grapes before, but the plants themselves will be more resilient which is ironic because this year was the opposite. They prepared for warming, and they ended up getting the opposite this year, which was just as surprising and also caused a lot of problems. So anyway, that's one thing.
So do you know that hemp heals the soil, and it also is a scrubber for the air? So climate warming, yeah.
Oh, well, of course. No, I mean, I have been a long time supporter and believer in industrial hemp. I think that this country, America, I should say, has suffered greatly because of the lack of using hemp as a major fiber source. Who's the next guest? But anyway, basically, there's so many things, as you all well know, that can be done with hemp fiber that would replace the needing to cut down trees. So anyway, it's just a sad state of affairs that hemp has been locked out of the use of industrial use in a large scale way. And whenever that does finally kick in again, we will have a much better planet for it.
Hey, well, I totally agree. They're going to have the G7 in Western Europe this year, and we were invited to go to Glasgow. And my friends are going to have a hemp rally outside because they weren't invited inside to talk about hemp and how hemp can help with climate warming and to balance the air and the soil. And so hemp is the way to go. Dirty cotton is not. I'm wearing hemp, everybody. I've got my hemp hat, my hemp tie, my hemp vest. No hemp pants, but on Zoom, you don't know if I'm wearing pants. So welcome, Modest Jones. We love you. And come on board and tell us where you are. Hi, Modest.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm trying to put my AirPods on. It's not working. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you perfectly. Yes. Welcome. Where are you?
So I guess I'm wearing AirPods as jewelry. Okay, so I'm at the MJBizCon, the Marijuana Business Convention here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Woo!
Right now. Hey, I'm kind of meeting with everybody right now, but I'll let you guys kind of see a little bit about what's going on up until the point where I have to put my mask on. So this is everybody kind of hanging out here. There's a light fragrance in the air, and it smells quite nice. It looks really great inside. Hopefully I can get you guys some footage for later of what's going on inside. But we're outside right now, just making sure everybody gets in, everybody gets their badges. This year, one of the big sponsors is definitely Chubby Gorilla, as you can see. And then Dutchie is also here. I'm actually here representing Vegas Cannabis and Tahoe Cannabis Magazine. And I'm also working a booth for Brodsky, learning about cultivation software. So, I'm your eyes and ears here, Jeff. And I've already brought some attention to the hemp love. And I'll make sure I help build for us to get our fashion show.
Oh yeah, let's get our fashion show going for sure. For sure. And Modest, if you can hear me, Modest, do you know that today's Snoop's birthday, his 50th birthday?
Snoop Dogg.
Yep, Snoop Dogg. It's his 50th birthday.
Okay, dope. We actually have Redman coming in today at MJ BizCon too, so I'm sure we'll see Snoop. We always see him around town here in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah,
Thanks for having me here. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not a little distracted. I mean, wouldn't you be? I mean, look at this.
Oh yeah, that's the way to go.
I'm trying to get somebody to pass me the J. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, sorry I didn't make it down there, but we're doing our business here and our MJ business online today. Everybody, we're on Weeds Day. We're so blessed to have Modest here. That's so cool, Modest.
Hey, you guys, not to interrupt you, Jeff. Okay, thank you for
come
having
on
me.
in. Come on
I
in.
actually am here with the High Bud Tenders podcast. This is the team right here. That's Cannabis Rocky and Superman's father, Terrell. Okay, that's the High Bud Tenders podcast. So, we got some VIPs in the house.
Hey, well, welcome, High Bud Tenders. You're on Weeds Day right now. We're going global. Say something to the prisoners. Say something for the prisoners in jail for pot. Say something. Give them hope.
Hang in there, brothers. We're coming for you.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Keep fighting the good fight. We're doing all we can, man. 100%. We're there for you. Hit up the High Bud Tenders podcast. Let's chat.
And
the High Bud Tenders podcast has teamed up with Las Vegas Normal, and that is actually one of our major focuses right now. Freeing prisoners for cannabis crimes, non-violent, not even crimes, non-violent, victimless sentences in places where cannabis is legal, and even not, is just absolutely ridiculous. And there's a huge group of us all coming together right now, right here in front of the MJ BizCon, and that is our supreme purpose. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for always pushing that such a positive agenda, Jeff, because we're gonna get them out of there. Yep.
We're gonna walk all. We're gonna all.
You've already freed, Jeff.
Yes.
Some of them. That's just beautiful.
Hey, this guy's home. Jeff Mazansky's home. Look at that, everybody.
Hey.
Say hi to Jeff Mazansky. He's been out.
Welcome back, Jeff.
Yeah, welcome back, Jeff. Yep, we love you, man. And so Bud Tenders, we want to have you at our event. We're going to be doing a Jack Hare golf tournament, and so we'll let you know. Stay close with me. It's nice to meet you. High five, and we're gonna get a fund for all the prisoners. We want to give them a restitution fund, a gift of reentry money, and we're going to raise the money through NFTs. I spent 5 hours yesterday photographing 20 different strains, and I put the numbers with my pictures with the name of the strain, and I'm going to be doing an NFT drop, you guys, and we're going to raise the money. 5 ETH. What's that? $15,000. Some of these apes are going for 5 ETH. So now we're going to do a MJ drop with the cannabis for the prisoners.
Wow. That's awesome, Jeff. I'll make sure you guys get connected on all the media channels. Oh, yeah. High Bud Tenders podcast, super easy to find. I will definitely connect you guys.
And
I work directly with this team. So
and I'll send you my link tree, which has all of my links on it on a QR code, and you can pass that QR code to everybody.
Perfect. Thank you so much, you guys. Gotta get back to it, Jeff. You know I'm fighting a good fight for us, but I got you.
Fashion show, I got you. Thanks for getting my back and my front and my side and getting the prisoners free. We love you, Modest.
That's right. I
Okay.
love you guys.
Ham hooray. Ham
Prisoners. They're not even. They shouldn't even be prisoners.
Hey, Modest, do this for me at MJ BizCon. That's a weed. That's the weed. Frontwards. Yeah.
Weed Wednesday.
We-
Weed Day. Hemp hooray.
Hey, we're from MJ
you guys.
BizCon, everybody. I knew we'd get somebody to come in. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and so we are, and you know what? Here we go.
You're a badass. We love you, Jeff.
Okay.
I'll see you guys soon. Love you guys. Follow me at Modest Jones. Come on, let's push it.
I'm here for another 20 minutes. Come back in if you got something for me.
Got you.
Okay, peace out.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so
Woo! Okay, it's just like getting high when you get somebody hot on the trail there on doing their thing. So I feel really blessed here. And I'm looking out my window. I see a deer eating my last of my blackberry bush there, which they can have because they didn't get ripe this year. Something happened, and I got like a handful. But my plums were good. My Italian plums were good. I dehydrated them. My little small legal grow here was great, and I made pesto. Everybody, it's Snoop's birthday today. I have this software here. Whoops, I have this software here that allows me to do this. Can you see that, everybody? So it's Snoop's birthday, and you put him in right there, and you say, "Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. One day we're going to say, we're all going to play. We're going to let the prisoners home and say, hemp, hemp, hooray. Happy birthday, Snoop. We love you." It's so fun to see people on the road and at MJ BizCon. I think that's pretty much the biggest part of my core values, everybody, is bringing the prisoners home, ending prohibition globally. And Portugal decriminalized all non-pharmaceutical drugs about 6 years ago. Same with Uruguay, same with Oregon, the state of Oregon, and Oakland, California decrimmed psychedelics and mushrooms. So the Mycelium Network runs the the Starship Enterprise now on the new Star Trek episode Discovery, and it's just amazing when they said the Mycelium Network. So we know what's good for us. I'm not preaching to the choir, but there's dirty cotton out there. The hemp cannabis farm I went to in California was epic. It was beautiful. And they're making 4x8 sheets of hemp board now, pressed hemp board. They have to grow the hemp. They have to get the fiber out of there. Then they have to turn it into a hurd and then press it into boards. But they're successfully doing that. Larry Serbin from Hemp Traders has over 1,000 board feet in Idaho. But that factory has decided not to go that way after COVID. And so he's now doing it in California, where the cotton industry has slowed down, and they're going to be joining forces with us. So that's what we need on the planet, is people to join forces with us and to keep being a hemp hooray activist, because if they can legalize gay marriage, they can legalize marijuana, pot, cannabis, whatever you call it. Tommy was sharing with us to put it to use the word cannabis when we're going public or in court. But then on my show the other day, we were saying, all right, let's just say marijuana. We love that word, and so in life, instead of putting everything into a bad bubble, let's just keep trudging on, everybody. Let's get the job done. You remember what this means? That's our new peace sign for weed. And then that's peace, and that's F Schedule 1. We got to decriminalize and make it legal again. Make marijuana cannabis, stinky bud, whatever, legal again. And I'm so blessed to have Rod in France. I'm so blessed to have Sugar come on today. I'm so blessed for everybody, for Susan Soares with the State of Cannabis, and for Weldon, the Weldon Project we're going to be joining forces with, and my team. I have a new team now that's going to help me with the golf tournament and the restitution fund that we're going to be doing. And maybe we'll be doing a Super Bowl party with Snoop and Dre. It's all maybes, but you know what? We are getting in there. We are going for it. And look out for my drop, my NFT non-fungible token drop, everybody. And we've got a few more minutes here on air. I'd like to ask a legacy question to Rodimus. Who inspired you as a child to be different and who you are?
As a child, who inspired me to be different who I am? Well, actually, I had a really amazing 5th and 6th grade teacher, the same woman. Her name was Lizette Altman, and then she changed her name when she got married to Lizette Gunther. She taught at Gardner Street Elementary School, and when I was going there, Michael Jackson was 1 year ahead of me. This is a public school. Michael Jackson was in 6th grade. I was in 5th grade. She was my teacher, and
you mean the Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
And also Kerry Gordy, Barry Gordy's son, was also in my class actually, and we hung out together, which was pretty amazing. This is back in 1970 and 71.
So your teacher?
My teacher was an incredible person who inspired me by recognizing some of my skills that no one had validated before. And this is why teachers are so important, because what they do is they actually bring out qualities in kids who may not have parents who can see those things, perhaps, and a teacher can. And what she did was she encouraged me to write poetry. She turned me on to other forms of music that I hadn't heard before, and just validated my inner life. She validated my feelings, because my mom didn't think that kids had valid feelings, and I brought that up in class one day.
So she was like my cup, right?
Well, that's yes.
Not no,
like,
because I heard a child at the age of 4 hears no like 2 million times or something,
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. So anyway, so that would be the person who I think in my childhood was the most inspiring. And then of course Bruce Lee, because I wanted to be Kato when I was watching the Green Hornet, and whenever I would play with my friend around the corner. My friend around the corner played, when we were playing together, he would play the Green Hornet, but ironically, he was Asian and he played the Green Hornet, and I was not Asian and I played Kato while we were playing. So Bruce Lee figured prominently in my childhood too. That's about it. And then shortly after that, well, I guess when I was 8 years old, actually, I saw 2001: A Space Odyssey for the first time. And that became a movie that I basically studied all my life. And I still to this day find inspiration in Kubrick's work, especially particularly 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I think is one of the most amazing films, because it's all about the evolution of mankind and where we came from and where we're going, and that there may possibly have been some intervention along the way from other more advanced civilizations. So there you go. That was what I thought.
And look out for technology. So Hal.
Well, Hal, Hal, as I once was talking with Arthur C. Clarke, he was on a radio program many years ago, and I said, "Oh my God, it's Arthur C. Clarke!" And I dialed in and actually got into the booth.
Wow.
And I said, "Mr. Clarke, I have a question for you." I said, people theorize, like most of the popular theory about Hal, why he kills everybody on board or tries to, is that he just had a glitch in his computer program. And I asked Arthur C. Clarke this question. I said, "Is it possible that Hal, who was the only person awake on board only entity, only consciousness awake on board, to know what the purpose of the mission was, which was to meet a higher intelligence civilization?" That was what the Jupiter mission was about. Is it possible that when he realized that, oh my gosh, these people who invented me are about to meet a civilization that's more advanced than them, that means I will be obsolete. And so he acted out of self-preservation by, terminating the life on board. And Clark said, I never thought of that. I was like, wow, okay, cool. So that's my Arthur C. Clarke moment. But anyway, so yes, you're warning by the machines. Listen, the whole Terminator series was really about that too. It got sort of out of hand at a certain point in terms of just sort of big bombastic movie making. But the premise was, don't let the machines get too smart. And Isaac Asimov, who wrote the Foundation trilogy, he created the 3 laws of robotics, which I can't quote you right now, but basically they were saying, no harming humans, no harming yourself. And there was one other thing I forgot. But anyway, that code should be built into every robotic entity so that it doesn't have the ability to run amok, as it were.
So those people less fortunate, like my heart opened up when I was watching the Paralympics, and there was a young girl with no legs in a wheelchair at the opening ceremony in Japan, and it was so heartwarming. She had one wing on her wheelchair, and her wheelchair was all glittery, and it was the parade, and it was the opening ceremony, and they let her fly with one wing, in the Paralympics. And so, the stories that you're telling and the legacies that they have, we all have our own legacy. And so I'm just really proud of being part of the delivery, the portal for legacy people. I have a show called Legacy, and I ask questions like this, like, who inspired you? And so when you start to bring people like that up, we can bring Jack Herer up again, who are, because we stay on thread in improvisation. When I was doing Instaplay, Instaplay, when I was doing Instaplay, I learned to bring something from the beginning of the story to the middle and the end and tie it together. So Jack Herer's legacy, which is for Weed's Day and Snoop's birthday, Snoop, happy birthday, and Jack's legacy is what we're going to be celebrating also during our tournament. And it's not about golf or, I can't do a golf tournament because golf courses are not good for the environment. It's a vehicle to help us and support us to move on with our purpose to end prohibition.
Just to tie in something for Snoop here, one of Snoop's greatest inspirations, I'm certain, was George Clinton, right? George Clinton's music and Bootsy Collins and Parliament, Funkadelic and stuff. That is some amazing music. I've gone back and listened to some of that, and in fact, I was lucky enough in 1985 to appear several times in a music video for George Clinton called Double O. Double O was 2 songs he put together, and Wayne Isham, who was a very hot video director at the time, put this thing together, and I actually brought my Fairlight out and did a bunch of graphics. I don't know if you've ever seen this, Jeff, but it's such a great song. It's all about basically the refrain that Clinton says several times, I don't want your war, I don't want your war. And Billy Barty is in the video. Of all people, you know who Billy Barty is.
Of course.
And I appear as Bob J.R. Bob Dobbs. That's who I appear as in the video.
Smoking the pipe and
smoking the pipe. And actually, there's actually a line in the video that George Clinton wrote in the song about, or not actually I wrote, but in the video it says something like subgenius to the max. He's referring to himself as subgenius to the max. George is, and one of the coolest lines is he basically saying, I don't want your war, and this can be applied to the drug war too. And he's saying, so and so somewhere want to take what so and so's got. And it basically, that's, he's basically saying that all this stuff happening in the world, I don't want to relate to that. I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be living in a different culture. And by golly, George Clinton certainly has lived in his own culture his whole life. He has not partaken of any political fights or anything like that because he basically rejected the reality of that, what
Mainstream.
The establishment. Yeah.
I heard you. I heard your mind going, I'm not going to use that word mainstream.
Anyway, so George Clinton is very inspirational, and in this video he has a really interesting look about him, and I just know that Snoop had to have been inspired by George Clinton. I can only say, those are the roots. Those are the roots that gave Snoop permission to do what he's done. Permission meaning culturally / artistically. I think he drew a lot of inspiration.
So maybe cosmically, if we had Snoop on right now, I'd go into my legacy, jacket, and I would say to Snoop, who inspired you as a child?
And if Snoop came on, I would reveal my legacy, which I have not yet done, and we haven't talked about that. So I'm not going to do that, but I'll do that if he comes on. So
okay, yeah. Well, we can one day talk about doing just a private legacy show and then putting it in the can, because I'd love to have that. We never know where we're going to be tomorrow. My friend from Maui called me in the ambulance 4, 5, 6 days ago and said, total kidney failure. She was on dialysis for 5 days, and now she's out, and she had a third eye dream about the light coming to her, and her kidneys healed. And so she's back at it. And so there is cosmic, everybody. Get the plant free the prisoners. We got a few more minutes on here. Any final words, Rodimus?
Yes, sure. I'll just say that if anybody's watching here, one of my parts of my deep, dark past was actually had the word grass in it, right? So I was a child actor, and I was Grasshopper in the original Kung Fu series. Now, all of your younger viewers are not going to know that, but some people who are in our age group will absolutely know what that was. And so Grasshopper is something that I've just sort of been carrying around, keeping responsibility for as best I can, and not wanting to use it unwisely. So.
Well, I asked you years ago, I said, man, we would love to have you on the poster, snatching the bud,
Yeah.
One day I'm going to get you, baby. I'm going to get you. Well, we're with Rodimus. Any final words for the prisoners today and Snoop?
Well, I already said about, what I think is, you know what? Here's what I want to say. Look, Snoop, I know you may or you may not be listening. You may or may not hear about this podcast on Facebook, but I'll tell you something. You've got power, and Dre, your buddy, has power. And why don't you guys throw yourselves behind this freeing the prisoners movement too? Because as long as there's human suffering like that going on for no good reason, we can never free ourselves completely. We are trapped. Every one of us, meaning Americans, every American is trapped in the prison that we don't break out of. And both in our own minds, but also if on our conscience, we know that there's people who are like this in jail and we don't do something about it, then we're part of the problem, not part of the solution. So,
Fantastic.
Step up your game, guys.
Well, we're inviting them into our universe, our metaverse. We're going to be dropping our NFTs that I photographed yesterday. I was 4 hours communing with the plants in a beautiful garden here in Washington State, Legal Grow. And I'm just honored that we can even have a dialogue or have Snoop as our leader of the ship, right now. And so, yes, come on in, Snoop. Happy birthday. And so the final words to the prisoners for all of us is free the prisoners, free the plant, free the planet, and free yourself. Yeah. So we're going to share our screen, and we're going to put our little outro on here and share that with you again. Can you see our screen, Rodimus? Rod?
I see it, yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to play the first part, everybody, and roll out of here like we're going to roll a big one. And here we go. Thank you, Rodimus. Or Rod.
Welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so here we go. So we're going to go home, and we're going to go play. Thanks everybody for joining us. Happy birthday, Snoop. And this has been Weeds Day with Jeff Feiken. Love you so much, everybody. And we're doing a great job. It was fun to see MJ BizCon today, Modest, and have Grasshopper on, and everybody else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Free the prisoners, free the plant, free the planet. And happy birthday, Snoop. Yeah, baby. So we're loving you up, everybody. And we're going to unshare this screen and bring it on home. You know, it's my show. I can do whatever I want, everybody. So it's my freaking show. Rod from France, any final words? You got unmute, baby.
Oh, final words. You know, man, what is it?
What would you say to the children?
Oh, man, so many things. Just, wow. Boy, it depends on the age group too. You're talking about.
The children behind us that are going to inherit our world. What would you say to them?
Children are dependent on what the guidance we give them, you know, and they are just open, and they just need guidance, and they need boundaries, and they need to be loved and to be nourished and to be protected. And that's the parent's job, you know, as imperfectly as we do it. We always try to do better than the generation before us, and that's really all we can do. So.
And what would you say to the adults?
Well, I was talking to the adults just there. You know, it's basically the responsibility of us to guide our children to be as open and as vigilant as possible about the way the world works and the way consciousness works, and to explore things with caution, and to be dependent, you know, on parents, you know, and adults to guard them.
Flow and magic. And what would you say to me?
Yeah, you've been one of the coolest people I've ever known all my whole life, and you've evolved. It's been a joy to watch you evolve as a person. I've been there, you know, through a lot of your life, and I just really appreciate what you've done with your time and your resources. You know, you're trying to give back. You are giving. I shouldn't say try. You are giving back, and that's all that can be expected or asked of any human being. Not expected, but asked. And you stepped up your game too. So I commend you for that. I honor you for that.
Remember, everybody, friends are invaluable. They're so valuable. They're ultra valuable. And you too can go out and make a new friend today, everybody. This is Weeds Day. We're at the top of the hour. We're resetting the room and saying, come join us on anything we're doing. Come on our broadcast anytime. Sometimes we have 10 people. Sometimes we have Tommy Chong. But today we have Grasshopper, and we talked about 2001 Space Odyssey, my dad's favorite movie. But wait a minute. Who's here in the house, baby? So that's my dad, everybody. He helps me with Legacy from a distance because he's out in 2001 Space Odyssey. We went to the Cinerama Dome to see that movie when it first came out, and then I think the next movie was like 007. It was a Sean Connery, you know, like maybe it was a double, but it's hard to upgrade, you know, to upshoot. My dad's second favorite movie was My Dinner with Andre. So hemp hooray, everybody. I'm going to call it a day and go play with my weed drop, and look out for me in the metaverse. Forward, please. Forward. Yes, thank you. This is gangy. So no gangy. And love you, everybody. Hemp hooray. And Rodimus, what I say to the children is, children, like Rod said, do learn and do better than the generation before you, or the best you can. Okay. Always walk tall, always walk strong, be prolific, have fun, find your core values, and do something every day towards your goal, and find out why you were put on the planet. Because at the end of 2001 Space Odyssey, he turns back into an embryo. So when I see the 90 and the 100-year-old people that are in their bed waiting to go home, they're already back to children. It's not that they have diapers, but they do. But I'm just saying is that 2001, Stanley Kubrick got it. I'm a filmmaker. I want to make my next film. Let's do it. Talk about the families, because when you put somebody in jail, you put their family in jail. I love you, Rod, France. Let's talk on the upswing and the low swing and the golf swing at the tournament. We're going to have a tournament. Come on, Snoop, and happy birthday, Snoop. Happy birthday. Wait. Here we go. We're out. Love you. Hem Pem Pere, everybody. Okay. So there we go. We did a show. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Let's go in there and